Welcome to We Are Soccer, the show that talks about pro soccer, youth soccer, and everything in between. I'm Craig Hearn. All right, a quick note before we get into today's show. It might have a little bad language involved. So if that's not your thing, go ahead and forward on to the next video. All right, so what's on today's show, kids? We've got the Rooney documentary. Rangnick has been called a fraud. Berhalter's salary. Super Bowl viewership. Erling Haaland could be headed where this summer? And we discussed some of the top teenage footballers from around the world. 3 Americans in the top 50. Let's find out who those are and where they're at currently. Yeah, we've got a lot to talk about today. So why don't we jump right in? Let's go. All right, guys, lots to get to today. But before we jump in, I want to let you know that this segment is brought to you by Tim Merritt and Ross Mortgage. Ross Mortgage has over 70 years of mortgage lending experience. You can depend on Ross Mortgage for competitive rates, quality service, fast response, and no surprises. They handle your transaction from application to closing. Tim Merritt at Ross Mortgage needs to be your guy if you're getting a new mortgage or you're looking to refinance. Find his information below. All right, guys. This past week, the Rooney documentary came out, a documentary based on Wayne Rooney's career and a little bit about his life. I gave it a watch about 2 days after it came out. I got to be honest, it was an hour and 42 minutes long. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. He goes behind the scenes. He lets you in to his home. Him and his wife, Colleen, they talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And there was quite a bit of ugly within their we'll say within their marriage and Wayne's missteps as a husband. They do go in depth a little bit there. They also show a lot of highlights from the Euros and the World Cups. And obviously, as we know, he played for Everton. That's where he broke onto the scene as a 16-year-old and scored that wonder goal against Arsenal. He then 2 years later moved to Manchester United. He gives a lot of insight in what happened there behind the scenes. And then he also goes in depth about his falling out with Sir Alex Ferguson and how he handed in a transfer request if he didn't get his way. Interesting, very interesting. I got to be honest, like I said, absolutely great, wonderful documentary. I was enthralled with it, maybe because I'm a child of the 90s and early 2000s. And that's when I really remember a lot of my memories of the Premiership and Wayne Rooney coming in 2002 and him being that stud star teenage player that England had been wanting for so many years. And he just filled that void. And his highlight tapes are unreal. I think a lot of us forget how good of a player he really was. Yes, he had a little bit of nastiness. He had a little bit of bite to his game, but all of the best players do. He was that goal scorer that England needed. Unfortunately, he got injured quite often right before big tournaments, both World Cups he was in, but he was desperate to play. He fought through injuries. There were injuries that nobody even knew about until this documentary came out. So go ahead and give it a watch. I highly recommend it. If you've already watched it, put the comments in below. What do you guys think? What were your thoughts on it? Were you as enthralled with it as I was? I literally couldn't stop watching it. I sat there. I rewound it several times to make sure I heard things correctly, and I saw the highlights again. I can't speak highly enough of this documentary. It's on Netflix, and it's called Rooney. That's it, just Rooney. So go ahead and give it a watch. It is an awesome, awesome documentary. Let's see if you guys enjoyed it as much as I do. All right, this past week, Wayne Rooney's old club, Manchester United, has been in a little bit of turmoil. It's been reported from within the club that Harry Maguire and Ronaldo are not on friendly terms at the moment. There's a bit of a rift between the two of them, and it's causing a split in the locker room. That's interesting. Also come out this week, high up reports that players are not happy with Ralph Rangnick and his training. And several, these are loose reports because no one wants to put their name on it, several players have called him a fraud. Got to be honest, he's done a good job since he's been there shoring up the defense. They haven't shipped in as many goals as his predecessor, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but he also hasn't had the team scoring. When they are on offense, going down the field, they look like they are unimaginative. They don't look like they've played together. The past couple of games, Ronaldo, Rashford, Cavani, Jadon Sancho, they look like they've never played together before. It's bizarre, to be honest. They look like they all want to go ahead and score the goal. They're not willing to cross the ball. They're not willing to help set up a teammate. They're not making runs to set up teammates. They're not making runs to create space for teammates. It's not looking good right now. If we're being honest, the only reason they've stopped letting so many goals in is because David De Gea has just become around and become that goalkeeper we all know he can be. He has been phenomenal this season. If it wasn't for him, United would find themselves mid-table at best. He has done a great job. Yet we all know that the back line has some big issues with Maguire. But I feel that a lot of you Man United fans make him a scapegoat. He makes some mistakes. No, he's not worth the 70 million that you paid for him. Absolutely agree with you there. But you gotta be honest. When you're letting in a goal a game, that's not too bad. It's your offense which really struggling. Your midfield's getting overrun every freaking game. I mean, the game against Burnley a week and a half ago, Burnley of all people are running the midfield. They're bossing your midfield. You had Pogba and Fernandes in there. And who on Burnley was in there? Yeah, you couldn't name anybody, right? Come on now. It's your midfield and your forward line, which is really letting this team down. As we know, Rangnick is right now an interim coach. At the end of the year, he's going to be taking up a consultancy role, and the person, either a consultancy role or sporting director, and he'll be the one who brings in the head coach. Pochettino and Erik ten Hag from Ajax are currently the leaders, the odds makers, favorites to get in there. I think that's needed. I think Rangnick needs to go up into a consultancy role or a sporting director or whatever. And he needs to bring one of those two managers in, because right now with the players that are on the books at Man United and how they're playing, it is not acceptable. From a non-Man United fan, hey man, this is great. I love the content. I love watching Man United fans fight over this stuff and argue. It's music to my ears personally. But you Man United fans, I know how invested in this you are, and you deserve better. All right. So some interesting news came out this week. Taxes are due for several businesses, and I believe what happened was U.S. Soccer Federation released some information, and we now find out how much Greg Berhalter has been earning. For the past 2 years, he's earned apparently approximately, 1.2 just shy of $1.3 million here in the same last year. He is USSF's highest paid employee. All right. So yes, he won a Gold Cup. Yes, he won the Nations League. He did a lot this past summer, beating arch rivals Mexico, not once, but twice. And we're all very happy about that. We all went nuts when that happened. He's had some missteps in World Cup qualifying. We know this. The lineups he puts out, less to be desired. Look at the Canada game. They go up there unimaginative. They didn't have a game plan. Canada had a game plan and won the game easily, to be honest. Yes, Greg Berhalter has his missteps. Yes, he's not the best coach in the world, but 1.2 million gets you him. I think that's an okay number. But let's compare it to Vlatko Andonovski and what he earns for the U.S. women's national team. He earns just over $357,000 a year. So this is his first year. This is past year. It's been his first year with the U.S. women's national team. So he earns just over $350,000. That probably needs to go a little higher, but he needs to get some wins. Obviously, the She Believes Cup is going on right now, and 0-0 draw in U.S. women's national team's first game the other day. Not good. They did have the youngest team. They fielded the youngest team they have fielded in the past 4 years. Trinity Rodman got some minutes. Haran was on there. Not bad for the U.S. women's national team, but we expect goals. We expect goals there. And I think if Ananovsky wants to get paid anywhere close to the 1.2 million that Greg Berhalter earns, he's going to have to start piling up those wins pretty quick. All right. Some more rumors that came about this week. Interested parties may want to keep their ears open if you're fans of Real Madrid or Borussia Dortmund. Erling Haaland is due to leave Borussia Dortmund this summer. His clause of 75 million euros kicks in, so anybody in the world can sign him. We know the big boys of Man City, Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Real Madrid. I hesitate to say Barcelona because of their financial issues, but you may want to throw Barcelona in there as well. All those big clubs are looking at Erling Haaland. I mean, who wouldn't be? Who wouldn't be, right? We already know that one of the big dominoes for the summer has apparently fallen. He has signed a contract. That is Kylian Mbappe of PSG. He has signed a pre-contract with Real Madrid, and he will be heading to Real Madrid to play. Now the rumor is Erling Haaland is going to be joining him. I have no idea how they're going to afford both of those players. The rumors are that Kylian Mbappe is going to be on 650,000 euros a week. That's a lot of money. I have no idea how they're going to be able to afford Erling Haaland because he's going to demand the same money, if not more. Plus, when you get Haaland, what comes along is you've got to pay his dad and you've got to pay his fat ass agent, who no one likes, but does a very good job. So Real Madrid could have both of those guys on the books next year. Is this going to be Galacticos 2.0? Do you guys remember the Galacticos, the 2002, 2003 team that Real Madrid had? Brazilian Ronaldo, Figo, Zidane, Iker Casillas, Makelele, Raul Salgado, Roberto Carlos, and David Beckham. I mean, holy shit, what a team. Do you remember that team? They were fun to watch. They were fun to watch, man. And I tell you what, Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland go there this summer. I think we got Galacticos 2.0. Real Madrid just signed Benzema to a long-term contract last summer, so he's still going to be there. Vinicius Jr. is still going to be there. Man, what a team. What a team. What a team. We could be looking at Galacticos 2.0. Do you guys see this, what's come out this week? The Seattle Sounders have released plans for their new training facility. I believe I gotta have to read it again, but I believe it was somewhere in the range of 400 million is what they're going to be paying for this thing. It's renderings right now. I know it's rendering. So it's not going to be done for another 2.5 years, I believe. But these renderings are awesome, man. What a facility the Seattle Sounders are going to have up there. Right on the sound. I mean, it looks absolutely beautiful. More clubs in the MLS are going to be doing this. Guarantee it. Absolutely guarantee it, because they're going to attract more players. They need to attract more players. And man, it's so fun to see. So fun to see some of the stuff that's coming out from the MLS. People around the world, media outlets around the world, leagues around the world, they're recognizing the MLS has come a long way and is producing really good players, young American players, 3 of who we'll chat about in a couple of minutes. All right, some of the funny news that came out this week. Last weekend, we had the Super Bowl. The LA Rams went ahead and won that against the Cincinnati Bengals. Whatever that happened. Viewership for the Super Bowl was around 112 million. I think it's actually, that's up compared to previous years. Last year, I think it was around 100 million. This year, 112 million people from around the world watched the Super Bowl. That's a lot of people, but not compared to the UEFA Champions League. The UEFA Champions League final usually garners around 400 million people worldwide watching, and those games are played once a year. Big numbers. The Champions League proving once again it blows football, the NFL and football, out of the water. Now, for you folks who are keeping track, the World Cup final will generally attract 1.2 billion people watching, viewers watching. So Yeah, no comparison. Obviously, the World Cup, it's the world. Everybody in the world's watching that. There's a reason that soccer is the beautiful game, and everybody in the world knows it and loves it. Those numbers absolutely 100% prove it right there. Let's just go over them again. Viewership for this year's Super Bowl between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Los Angeles Rams was 112 million. This past the championship, the UCL, the UEFA Champions League final that had Chelsea and Man City in it, 400 million people viewed that game. And the previous World Cup, 400 million people watched that final. So yeah, soccer once again, and it's growing here in America. The sport is just absolutely growing here. So it's great to see. Some more sad news came out this week. We all know that Kun Aguero, retired in October, came off the field while at Barcelona, had a heart issue. It was determined that he should retire. He came out this week, and I quote, he says, "If I try to play football now, I run out of breath. Sometimes I wonder if I'll ever be able to sprint again. I just feel like my heart doesn't work properly." Kind of broke my heart to read that. You love to watch him on the field. You love to watch him play. Such a fun player. Really, really enjoyed the game. Kind of sad. There has been a string of players, obviously, in the previous couple of years that are having heart issues. We all know about Christian Eriksen at the Euros last summer. He has made his way back to the Premiership. He will be playing with Brentford. From our understanding, he has signed. He's been on the training pitch. He will be making a debut at some point here in the next couple of weeks for Brentford in the Premiership. Prayers that his heart holds up and he's able to become the player that he wants to be in, and that we know he can be. But it is very strange that all these players have come down with heart issues. I'm not going to get into the politics. I've had a lot of people reach out to me and ask if it's COVID related. Listen, I have no idea. I have no idea if Christian Eriksen or if Aguero or if any of the other players in the world who've had heart issues have been vaccinated or haven't been vaccinated, or if they've had COVID or haven't had COVID. I do not care. Politics is not my thing. This whole COVID stuff is the debates that goes on is not my thing. So I'm staying away from that 100%. I will say, though, that it's just very sad to see a footballer like Aguero not be able to play the game he loves, because obviously he was at Barcelona. He'd just come back from I believe it was a thigh injury, and just ready to come back there, got hit with that heart injury. Very sad. Talking about Barcelona, who were not in the Champions League this past week for the first time in a long time. The Champions League has scrapped the away goals rule this year. And I, for one, didn't really know if it was going to be a good thing or a bad thing. But after watching a couple of games here, I think it's a horrible thing. Absolutely terrible. Did anybody watch Real Madrid at PSG? So Real Madrid at PSG, previously in those games, the away team, which would have been Real Madrid, would have gone at it and tried to get that all-elusive away goal. This time they sat back. That is not how I've ever seen Real Madrid play before. They sat back defensively, letting PSG come at them. And it almost worked, to be honest. It almost worked. It took a 94th minute Kylian Mbappe wonder goal to win it. 1-0 for PSG. But if we'd still had that away goals rule in place, that would have been a hell of a game, man. Real Madrid would have come out firing on all cylinders. They would have tried to get that away goal. It ruins it. I haven't seen very many people. I haven't seen anybody, to be honest, in favor of keeping the no away goals. Everybody I've seen, everything I've read, everybody wants to have the away goals. It's important to have. Is there another way forward without the away goals rule? Possibly. But the current state right now is not it. We need to have the away goals, or we need to have something similar to that, because the current way forward is not producing entertaining soccer. So really, really would love to see that put back in. We found out this week that the World Cup draw for Qatar 2022 will be held on April 1st. Curious day. Is this a joke? It seems like a joke. Seems like a joke that we're going to be holding the World Cup draw on April Fool's Day, April 1st. Can we change that? Can we just move it like a day back? Let's move it to April 2nd. Just so there's no jokes. I don't want the jokes. I don't want to be fooled. I don't want anything happening. I don't want to see false reports. Let's just move it back to April 2nd, can we? You know, that would be good. Also, this past week, legend Pierluigi Collina turned 62 years old. You guys knew who he is, right? Come on. If you don't know who Pierluigi Collina is, you're definitely young. You're probably younger than 30 years of age. Only the best referee to ever step foot on the field. Everybody respected him. Both sides, both teams, everybody loved him. The man was phenomenal. Turned 62 years old. I saw a picture of him drinking a coffee or a beer at a bar, whatever it was. He was sitting down, chatting with a reporter. Still looks like he could run the middle of the field, man. And I guarantee any call he made, there would be no arguments. That man, I'm telling you, what a legend. 62 years old, Pierluigi Collina, this past week. So good for him. We mentioned it earlier. The U.S. women's national team drew 0-0 with the Czech Republic in the opening match of the She Believes Cup. Again, U.S. women's national team fielded the youngest team that they fielded in the past 4 years. 0-0, though. We all expected goals. We need goals. Coach Ananowski needs to fucking go in there and ream that team out because there needs to be goals. Teams are going to sit back on you. You know it. You got to have a better game plan. You got to score goals. The upcoming games for U.S. women's national team are the 20th of February, 3 p.m. I believe that's Sunday versus New Zealand, and then Wednesday at 9 p.m. versus Iceland. They need to score goals. They need to win both those games to advance. So interesting. We'll see what happens there. It'd be nice to see Trinity Rodman get a couple of more minutes than she got in the last match and see what she can do with her pace up top. Recently, she just became the highest paid player in the Women's Professional League. I believe a $1.2 million contract for her over the course of 4 years. So congratulations to Trinity Rodman, who is going to be entering her second season in the league. The MLS has been releasing a lot of new jerseys this week as well. A lot of teams have away jerseys and third jerseys, and man, there's some great designs, some absolutely great designs. The LAFC black jersey, it's got really nice gold piping in and lines on it. Awesome jersey. That's probably one of my favorites. Love the Austin Mint jersey. The Charlotte jersey is very nice as well. Minnesota United have a Knight jersey. It's a black jersey. That looks really nice. NYCFC, the MLS champion NYCFC, have a really nice orange jersey with like this lightning bolt that goes down. It's all orange here, and the lightning bolt separates blue. Phenomenal looking jersey. Absolutely phenomenal looking jersey. I would 100% buy it if it didn't have one of the weirdest sponsors I've ever seen on the sleeve. I'm not walking around with a soccer jersey that has dude wipes on the side. Listen, I know what those are. It's weird. I know what those are, but I'm not buying a fucking jersey that has dude wipes on it. I know how sponsorship goes. I get it. They paid the money for it, but at some point you just got to go, listen, man, we're not having shit rags on our fucking sleeve. No can do, because shirt sales will go down the toilet. Pun intended. All right, guys. Why don't we jump in? We'll go ahead and show you a 2-minute clip here of MLS Roundup. Brooks Lambier and myself do a 2-minute roundup. Do a MLS Roundup every week. So what we're going to do is show you a few minutes here. Brooks and I talk about the CONCACAF Champions League that kicked off this last week. Do a lot of you know that what the CONCACAF Champions League is, how teams get in it, how they play, anything about it? If not, this video is for you. Trust me. Go ahead and give it a watch. You'll enjoy it. We'll be back in a minute. Welcome to MLS Roundup from We Are Soccer. I'm Craig Hearn, and as usual, I'm joined by Soccer Syndicate scout Brooks Lambier. Today, we're going to be talking about CONCACAF Champions League, which kicks off this week. But before we jump in, I want to let you know that this video is brought to you by Tim Merritt and Ross Mortgage. For over 70 years, they have been in the mortgage lending game, and you can depend on Ross Mortgage for competitive rates, quality service, fast response, and no surprises. They handle your transaction from application to closing. Go ahead and give Tim Merritt a call at Ross Mortgage. Brooks, how are you, man? You doing all right this week?
Yeah, I'm good. Monday has been good. A little snow obviously yesterday, but driving around, being Valentine's Day, there's been a lot of pretty aggressive drivers on the road today. I don't know if people are rushing to Hallmark to get their cards for their wives or girlfriends or whatever, but man, there were some road ragers on the road today, man. Jeez.
I didn't have that issue. I had a lot of clear and open roads. So I don't know. Maybe I was ahead of the game there. But it's Valentine's Day. So who knows? People are rushing around trying to get home, get presents and stuff for the wives and girlfriends and all that good stuff. Yeah, whatever. It's not my thing. I'm not a big fan of this holiday, but whatever. It is what it is. All right, buddy. People are tuning in. They want to know what's going on with CONCACAF Champions League. A lot of people know of Champions League, but they know about European Champions League, right? Man City, Bayern Munich, and Man United, all those good teams. Over here on this side of the ocean, we have CONCACAF Champions League. A couple of MLS teams in there. Do me a favor, explain exactly what the CONCACAF Champions League is, how it kind of forms, where the teams come from. Give us your knowledge, my friends.
Yeah. So let's start kind of with North America, because it's kind of split, like North America and then Central America and the Caribbean get thrown in this format. Now, obviously, later we'll talk about the format in 2023 that's going to be pushed onward. It's going to be changed a little bit. Right. But in this current format, the last year of this format, so we have Liga MX. So there's 4 teams that have qualified this year. So we have Leon, Pumas, Santos Laguna, and Cruz Azul. So how they qualified. So Leon and Pumas qualified. I believe that is the one Liga MX, I believe. So it's the champions and then the runners up of Guardianes. They call it the Guardianes champions. So of 2020 and then 2021, Santos Laguna was the runner up and Cruz Azul was the champion. So those are how the 4 teams qualify from Liga MX.
Okay. Yep.
And then jump into the MLS. And so we're talking about Seattle, which last year by default, because Colorado won the Western Conference, they were the highest ranked D1 pro team in America that didn't already qualify. So that's how they ended up qualifying for this. NYCFC won the MLS Cup, so the MLS Cup winners get to qualify. The Supporter Shield winners, the New England Revs, qualify. Montreal qualified through the Canadian Cup, which is played with the CPL and then the 3, Montreal, Toronto, and Vancouver in Canada. And then Colorado was the Western Conference regular season. So I guess technically the Revs, since they won the Eastern Conference regular season champs won, and since NYCFC had won the MLS Cup, that's hence why Seattle was the highest ranked, US D1 first division pro team that got into it. So that's why there's 5 teams from MLS. Now let's move into something we call CONCACAF League. So this is where you get the mixture of the teams from Guatemala, Honduras, Costa Rica, the Caribbean. So you get 22 teams from 11 associations. And you play 2 legs in every round. So I don't have all the teams that qualify for that, but the teams that came out of it for this year were Forge FC, which finished 3rd in the CONCACAF League, which is pretty impressive for a CPL team since that's a very new league. We had it's Guastatoya and Comunicaciones from Liga Nacional in Guatemala. Overall in the CONCACAF League, so they won everything. And then Guastatoya was 4th overall in CONCACAF League. Then you had from Liga Betcris is FC Managua from Honduras, which was 2nd overall. And then you had 2 teams from Costa Rica, Santos de Liga FPD. I'm not sure what that exactly stands for, but Santos de Guapiles, which is 6th overall, and a very common team from Costa Rica, which a lot of MLS teams tend to grab players from after CONCACAF Champions League, Deportivo Saprissa, which finished 5th overall in CONCACAF League. And then you had the Caribbean Cup champions, which are played between teams in Jamaica, Haiti. You have different, all the smaller Caribbean teams play for this, and they all play for this one spot. Cavalry AS, which we were the Caribbean Cup, Caribbean 2021 Caribbean Club champions. Tongue twister right there. So, and then into that, the CONCACAF League, they play every round, 22 teams. They play 2 legs in every round, even in the final. So
I want to stop you real quick. So as I said at the beginning of this, I'm sure a lot of folks know Champions League Europe, right? They know that. So the way it's done over there is in the Premiership, top 4 teams there finished. All right. Hopefully you enjoyed that couple of minutes of Brooks and I talking about CONCACAF Champions League. We're going to jump into a few different things here. This segment of We Are Soccer is brought to you by Kroski and Lonnie. Kroski and Lonnie specializes in working with small and medium-sized privately held companies, nonprofit enterprises, educational associations, professional partnerships, and families, and is dedicated to helping you achieve the highest levels of financial understanding and prosperity. Please visit them at kroskilani.com to find out how their team of talented professionals can help you and your organization in 2022. Information can be found below in this video. All right, guys, Mexico, USA, we love those games, don't we? But it's never fun when USA has to visit Estadio Azteca, which is what they're going to have to do on March 24th in the opening game of the next window for World Cup qualifying. There's 3 games left for World Cup qualifying for the USA. The first game is in Mexico at Estadio Azteca. That's a tough game. It's a tough place to go. Mexico, for their previous 2 games at home, have been held to a capacity of 2,000 fans due to their punishment over the use of an anti-gay chant by fans at previous matches. We all know what they say. If you followed U.S. men's national team, you all know the Mexican fans have a saying. They say it often during games. They use it to their advantage so that the referee can stop games. They try to say it when the other team's got the ball or when the goalie's kicking the ball. It's disgusting. I can't believe that they were only fucking punished for 2 games. 2,000 fans for 2 games. All right. And now USA comes calling, and nope, full capacity is what we're going to be at. So full capacity, Estadio Azteca, 100% capacity there, March 24th, when for USA's visit to Mexico. God, I would love it if we fucking won there, wouldn't you? You would absolutely love it if USA went down there and won. That would cement the World Cup qualifying. That would cement our place. Absolutely. All right. Enough of that. As promised at the top of the show, let's talk about some of the most exciting young teenage soccer players that are in the world. 442. I'm not sure if you guys know what 442. It's an English magazine, now a website, obviously. But back in the day when I was growing up, it was the ultimate magazine for us kids to get to. The in-depth articles and interviews that they provided was fucking phenomenal. Loved collecting and reading 442s. This past month, they've come out with the 50 top-rated teenagers of world soccer. There are 3 Americans on this list. Let's read them off to you. So Caden Clark, ranks number 47. He's in the Red Bull setup with Leipzig over there. Yunus Musa, ranked at number 19. He's 19 years old and plays at Valencia. We all know Yunus Musa, plays the U.S. men's national team. Great player in a central midfield for the U.S. men's national team. Number 14, 19-year-old Giovanni Reyna, Claudio Reyna's son. He plays over at Borussia Dortmund. He's been hurt the past couple of months, thigh and hamstring injuries. I believe he's been out since September, hasn't played. He did just come back and play in Europe this past week, got a few minutes on the field. So it's good to see him. Hopefully he can stay healthy for the next couple of weeks and we get him into that game that we just talked about. U.S. men's national team going down to Estadio Azteca in Mexico. Be great to see him there. So 3 players from the USA in the top 50 on 442's top teenage football players in the world. Who are the other ones, you may ask? So there's a whole list, right? So we just named 3 out of 50. There's 47 left. What I'll do is I'm going to give you the top 5. Number 5, Jamal Musiala of Bayern Munich, aged 18 and already playing. Man, this kid plays meaningful minutes for Bayern Munich. You're talking about Bayern Munich, one of the top clubs in the world, is playing an 18-year-old kid. He's come up through their academy in the last couple of years. Great player. You can see he's going to put on a little bit of muscle and tone his body in the next couple of years and become an absolute star for them. Don't forget the name Jamal Musiala. Sorry. Harvey Elliott of Liverpool, aged 18, is ranked number 4. Thank goodness he's back on the field. Suffered a pretty gruesome ankle injury a couple of months back against Leeds. His ankle turned sideways. It was not good. Thank goodness he's young because he healed up. I believe he broke his leg, dislocated his ankle. They got him fixed. Within 3 weeks, he was back. Walking. And within a month, he was back running. But that's a scary injury. I've seen careers ended because of that injury. Harvey Elliott of Liverpool, 18 years old, ranked number 4 top teenager in the world, football player. Yeah, I can see it. I can absolutely see it. He just made his starting debut in the Liverpool Champions League game this past week. He did very well. Was at the San Siro against Inter Milan. Did very well. Good to see him start. Number 3, Ansu Fati of Barcelona, age 19. This kid is going to be some freaking player, man. We all know his name, but soon you'll know his game. Keep an eye on Ansu Fati. Great player. Oof, he's going to score goals in bunches, I promise you. All right, number 2, also of Barcelona, Pedri, aged 19. This kid is destined to be a star. He's been compared to Andres Iniesta. Iniesta was okay. No, he was fucking brilliant. Iniesta was one of the best players to ever play the game. If it wasn't for Messi being at Barcelona, Iniesta would have been the top player there. I 100% believe that. Pedri, man, this kid's got some smarts. He's movement, ball security. The amount of soccer he played last year with Barcelona and then at the Euros, this kid did it all. And 100% would be number 1 on this list if it wasn't for Jude Bellingham, the young English central midfielder. Jude Bellingham, 18 years old. This kid is a real deal. Have you guys seen him play? He starts Champions League games for Borussia Dortmund and scores in them. He starts Euro games for England and scores in them. This kid is going to be something else. He's 18. 18. He's a grown man and he is running the fucking field. I'm telling you right now, this is the player that England have been craving and needing for years. He is the next big English star name. We haven't had a big star name, in my opinion, since Wayne Rooney, as we talked about Rooney at the top of the show. Rooney was an absolute stud of a player, could score goals, and England put the fucking weight of the world on his shoulders. He could handle it. Jude Bellingham can handle it. This kid will be able to handle it. He's calm, cool, collected. I've seen interviews with him. He looks like a seasoned veteran. Just absolutely, man, stud. Absolute stud. What do you guys think? Do you think he should be number 1? Do you think Pedri should be number 1? Jamal Musiala? You tell me. I will say Jude Bellingham, number 1, is not the only Bellingham in that top 50. His brother, his 16-year-old brother, is ranked number 50. Job Bellingham. So excuse me. Jesus, man. Are you kidding me? Watch him climb. He's currently at Birmingham City. No one likes Birmingham City. He'll be leaving there soon because he'll jump ship to a big club like Borussia Dortmund, just as his brother did. Big futures ahead for those two kids. Man, I read this article on 442. I went through all 50 players and their skill sets and everything. I highly recommend it. If you've already read it, please tell me what you think. And if you had any disagreements, I could swap some players here and there, but overall, I thought they were on par. Again, 442 for me when I was growing up was like fucking monthly Bible that came out. I read that thing from cover to cover, cut out the pictures and stuck the shit on my wall, man. Yeah, as you can see, I'm all in on soccer and have been my entire life. All right, on to something local here. Detroit City FC. If you're in the Metro Detroit area, March 12th, Detroit City FC are opening their USL Championship season in San Antonio. We are having a watch party down at the Detroit City Clubhouse. So again, if you're in the Metro Detroit area, head down to Detroit City Clubhouse in Detroit to catch the game with all your fellow Detroit City FC supporters. Beers, pies, and fun are all on the menu. Come on down and have some fun. And we're going to watch Detroit City FC kick off their USL Championship season, their first ever in that division. They've been making some big signings. They did just have a game this past week, a preseason friendly. Detroit City FC went to Indy 11. They tied 1-1. Didn't get too many reports out of the game, but from all accounts that I can see, they did well. A good tie with a good team. Indy 11 is a decent team as well. So lots to come for Detroit City FC. They open their season at home the following Saturday, March 19th. Metro Detroit folks, if you're into soccer, get down to Keyworth Stadium March 19th. March 12th, come down, join your fellow supporters, have some fun, have some beer, have some pies, all very friendly people. I love the clubhouse, man. It's such a cool place to be. If you've never been there, it is a soccer bar through and through. Get to the clubhouse for the games. All right, kids, last minute of the show, I want to talk to you about youth soccer real quick. If you are on Twitter or Facebook, go ahead and tag We Are Soccer in any of your posts where you have videos of you playing or letting us know what ID camps you're going to be at. We love to share that. We have a lot of coaches, a lot of players, a lot of clubs that follow We Are Soccer. We love to share videos of the youth teams playing and the players playing and their highlights. Absolutely love it. So please tag us. We will share that. For you youth players, this will be the third week in a row I've said this, but I want to drum it into you. Make sure you're watching soccer. As you can see from the show today, I talk about a lot of soccer. I have to watch a lot of soccer to be knowledgeable on this shit. I've watched soccer my entire life. Watch soccer. It will make you a better soccer player. I promise you. Watch it. Pick a team. Pick a team and watch them play. Pick a player and watch them play. It will make you a better soccer player. Trust me. Watch soccer. You'll be better at it. All right, guys, that's going to wrap us up for this week. A lot of games coming up the weekend. Jump on the We Are Soccer Facebook group or tag us in on Twitter. We love the conversations. We're all over there. We love talking soccer. We watch the games. Let us know what games you're watching. Let us know what games you're looking forward to this weekend. And we'll be back next week. Cheers, guys.